You can now get that sought-after Apogee recording quality at an entry-level price with the Apogee Boom Audio Interface. This goes for $299 over on Sweetwater at the moment, and you can use this on Mac, Windows, and even iOS devices. Before I get this thing open, we can check it all out. I just want to give Sweetwater a big thank you for hooking me up with this. And if you're looking for recording gear or musical gear of any kind, be sure to check out Sweetwater. They have a huge selection, competitive prices, and flexible payment plans if you need that sort of thing. Now let's open up the Apogee Boom to check it all out. And there's some cool features in here that I'm really looking forward to using. All right, let's get this open here. So we have our warranty card information and our registration information right there. This is your USB cable. The C end can go into the audio interface, and then depending on what type of connection you have on your computer, you could either have this adapter on, or you can disconnect it like that, and you can have USB-C on your computer as well. So that's very nice right there. Set that aside, and let's take the audio interface out here. Nothing else in the box, so we'll just set that aside for now. We'll open this up. So here's our audio interface. It has that nice plastic on there. I own this now, I guess. Taking that off. And the outer shell here, the purple part, appears to be metal. This is like a rubbery plastic. Feels nice. This is plastic on the front here. The front is plastic. The back is plastic as well. So let's look at what we have going on. You have your mic preamp / line input here on input 1, and input 2 is an instrument / line input. So you can use this in stereo with line inputs if you really want. And you'll notice on the front, there's only one knob that controls everything. So how that works is you'll see you have these names of the inputs and outputs on here, and there's little LEDs on the bottom. So you would push this in and it will change whatever input or output you want to control. So input 1, if the LED's there, you're controlling your mic preamp. Input 2, you're controlling the second input. Out is your main output. Now let's turn it around and see what we've got going on the back. You have your left and right speaker outputs or studio monitor outputs right there. You have your headphone output on the back. Now normally that's on the front of an audio interface. On this one, it's on the back. Then you have your USB-C connection and a Kensington lock if you should need that. Now, another interesting thing about the design here is this hollow part that goes underneath. Now, maybe it's just for looks, but I'm also thinking you could probably run things through here like your headphone jack. You can run that through there because your headphones are on the back. So maybe that makes it easier. I don't know. Maybe it makes things tidier doing it like that, or maybe this is just for looks. Now let's get this connected and we'll hear what it's all about. And if you want to check out a new audio interface or any recording gear, be sure to visit Sweetwater. One thing I really like about Sweetwater is they give you a dedicated sales engineer. This is somebody that you can actually talk to and you can tell them what you need, what you're looking to do with it, and they'll hook you up with exactly what you need or want, which might be the Apogee Boom Audio Interface or maybe something else. The service you get is top notch, and these sales engineers, they're also musicians and producers, so they actually know what they're talking about, so they can really get you going in the right direction and get the gear that you really need. They have a massive selection of gear, great prices, flexible payments like I said earlier, and super quick shipping, so you can get the items that you need in your studio right away. Now let's get this thing connected and we'll hear what it's all about. All right, so first up, I have a condenser mic connected to the Apogee Boom. This is the AKG C214, just in case you're wondering what mic it is. And having connected all of this now, I've realized some things. And the first thing being that you have to go over to the Apogee website, register this, and then download the Control 2 software. That way you can enable phantom power for your microphone. I'm pretty sure there's no way to enable phantom power on the unit itself. I've tried a few different things. I've looked through the manual and it appears the only way to do it is in the software. So let's have a look at that software. This is what it looks like here. And you can control everything with this. So you can see here, I'm speaking into input 1 and it's set to mic. But if I wanted, I could set this to a line input, and you have pro options with the +4 dBu or the more consumer options with the -10 dBV. Or you could set it to instrument if you want. I'll leave it at mic. And then also over here, we can set this to line levels or instrument for input 2. You also have playback 1 and 2 and playback 3, 4. So you can set up a different mix to go to your headphones or to your speakers. And that's another thing. When you connect your headphones, it disengages the speakers, so you're only going to be hearing through your headphones. If you unplug the headphones, then you can hear through your speakers again, which is kind of a neat thing right there. Another nice modern feature is that you can do a loop playback, so you could assign software inputs, and that could be anything from like your Zoom calls, Skype, or whatever you might be doing, Discord, something like that. You can assign that audio back into it by using this right here. You would just enable software inputs 1 and 2, and you can control the levels there. So if you're a streamer or YouTuber, somebody that does live stuff, this is a great audio interface for you because you can do all of your controlling within this software. There's no need for any other software to set up your levels or anything like that. And on your individual inputs, you have a pad on each one. This one is a -10 dB pad when it's set to mic. You have your gain controls right here. And you can see if I want to control that, I can set it to input 1 on the audio interface itself. And if I turn the knob here, it either increases or decreases depending on the way I turn it. Or I could also just control it right from within this mixer software. You have your onboard effects here that we're going to get into in just a second, but also you can see we have our phantom power, which I do have engaged because it is a condenser mic. You have a group control on each, and you also have phase invert on each. And then down here is like your actual mixer, and you have pan options, plus you have your fader for each input, plus mute, solo, and you can also stereo link these two together. So now let's look at the effects software that comes in here. So we'll enable it, and then we'll open up the effects window right here. And this is a nice channel strip. You have an EQ and you have a compressor, and it's very simple to control. We can increase our highs a little bit there if we want. We can increase the lows if we really want to, or you can decrease them however you want to set this up. Your mids, and you can also control the mid peaks down here, low shelf filter, high pass filter over here. Whatever you want, you can set all that up in here. You'll also notice that there's drive setting here. So this can be like a saturation just to add a little bit of color to your signal. So we'll turn down the output level as it's starting to get a little bit loud. But that's kind of a nice, neat little feature to add a little bit of color to your signal if you want to do that. And you'll notice that it's called print effects. That means when you're recording, these effects are actually going to be in the signal. So make sure you have the sound that you want before you hit record. And you also have this compressor down here. And we can just turn the threshold up a little bit. And you can see we're compressing. It shows you your gain reduction right over there. And you have a little bit of ratio settings that we can do here. Also, you can control the dry wet mix with that control. All right, let's say this is a setting that I really like and I want to use it for every stream or every vocal take that I do. I could actually save this. So I could click here, click on save, and then I would give it a name, whatever it is, my default vocal setting or whatever I want. And that way, every time I come in and sit down, I can load this up, and that's going to be my go-to setting. I don't have to fuss with anything in here anymore. It's all set up and ready to go. And also, if you are recording with this, you may want to recall those settings so you can have a similar sound across tracks. But you'll also notice in here, we have some different presets. So if you're recording acoustic guitars, 60s style, you have a preset in there for that. We have voice male. Let's just try that out. Do you wish to proceed? Yes. All right, so there is a vocal setting for a male vocal, and I'm just going to bring that back and set that a little bit higher, and we'll bring that up again. So that's a look at some of the software settings. I'm going to connect the Shure SM7B now, and we'll push this mic preamp a little more. All right, so I have the Shure SM7B connected, and let's have a look at where the gain setting is. It's at 61. So one thing that's neat about this is it goes by decibels, because this is capable of 62 decibels of gain. So I have it at 61, which is just a notch under full. We'll put it to full right now. This is the full 62 decibels that this mic preamp can put out, and it's not too bad considering we have the Shure SM7B connected and I can hear it pretty good. I don't have the effects connected right now, but I could go in here, connect those if I wanted, and we actually have a very nice setup with the effects. And if you're hearing a little bit of noise in the background, what it is the mic's picking up the sound of my one light fan that's over on the side here, and also my computer fan, which is just right under my desk. And that's what that kind of noise that you might hear. I'm not sure if you can hear it. I can hear it through the headphones here, but it sounds good. It would be great for live streaming, great for recording. If you want to get the sound while recording, it saves you time when mixing. Some of my gripes about the audio interface, I don't know. Maybe you can't turn on the phantom power from the unit itself. You have to use the software. That might be my only negative about the Apogee Boom. It's a very nice audio interface. And now if you need an even more entry-level audio interface, click the video on the screen to check that out. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating, and we'll talk soon.